Hi, everyone. Welcome. I am excited about sharing this series with you. It's called Hitting the Mark. You Can Do This. There are seasons in our Christian race. At times, we're running strong, feeling like we can take on the world. Well, the feeling like we can take on the world part doesn't happen too often, at least not for me. What happens more, I think, is, life happens. In life, there are plenty of trials, temptations, storms, pain, and heartache, financial difficulties, the world turning upside down, pandemics, and the list goes on. Trials seem long, difficult, and painful. It can get overwhelming. Let's be real. We get tired and frustrated, don't we? We get discouraged, and we can be tempted to slow down or to settle. With all the trials and difficulties that come into our lives, when we're tempted to settle, how are you and I going to endure to the end of our Christian race so that we can hit the mark for our lives? What does that mean exactly, to hit the mark? How are we going to finish our race, let alone finish it well and qualify to win the prize? Wait, prize? What prize? Doesn't all that just mean to be a good Christian and when we die, we go to heaven? Well, no, there's something more. And we'll be looking at that and how to obtain to the highest calling in Christ Jesus. So don't miss out. Why not invite a friend or two to watch with you, or use this as a group Bible study? Listen, the book of Philippians is chock full of very practical, life-giving truths that have the potential to transform us if, that little two-letter word, if we will put them into practice. They have changed and are still changing my life. And I'm not going to pretend that I have a perfect life without trials or temptations. Yeah, not. I want to share something, and I hope it will encourage you. A short while ago, a pastor in El Salvador asked if I'd be able to teach an online Bible Institute course. Yeah, sure. I love teaching. But here's the deal. I was only given 3 weeks to prepare. Oh my goodness. I usually need several months to prepare a Bible Institute course. So I took a couple of deep breaths, a lot of deep ones. And I said, 3 weeks, eh? Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Okay, I can do this. But I need to teach a course that I've already taught so I can use the notes and only need to make minimal adjustments. Well, ends up I made more than minimal ones. God was bringing these truths more alive than ever before in my personal life, and I had to share. He was bringing me life, and I wanted to share that life with others. So I taught Hitting the Mark. It's a study on the book of Philippians by Dr. Brian Bailey. Through the course of that time that I was studying and teaching, wow, it became so evident to me that the Lord had handpicked this course for me at that exact time. You see, it ended up that during that time, our family was to go through some really difficult stuff. Friends, as I prepared each class, I was freshly reminded of very practical ways that we can choose in order to please the Lord, especially in difficult times. I found new strength and peace in everyday things that came up. But more importantly, I was able to stand through one of the most difficult situations that we've had to face being in the ministry. And we've been through our share of things, just like everyone else. But not only that, by God's grace, I grew in my relationship with the Lord. I kept saying to my husband, honey, thank God I'm studying Philippians right now. This is God's grace to remind me to apply these truths. I don't know how I would be reacting to all this stuff without being daily reminded of how to respond correctly. While I was freshly applying these truths every day, specifically to what we were going through, I was being reminded that God's ways work. The Lord was saying, you can do this. You can overcome. You can keep running the race and you can finish well. You don't have to fold under criticism, pain, and pressure. I'll give you strength. Just keep responding correctly. Friends, God has given us his word to teach us his ways. If we will listen and then apply what we learn, well then, we are going to hit the mark and come into all that God has for us as individuals. There are so many practical keys in this study. Hey, you are going to want, no, I should say, you are going to need these keys on your spiritual keychain, friends, so that you can unlock the doors to finding success through all of life's trials and testings. Come along with me for this very practical study of Philippians. I'll be using Dr. Brian Bailey's book, Hitting the Mark, as a guide, and I'll also be sharing what the Lord made alive to me personally through this course. My prayer is that what is shared will breathe life into you, and no matter what you've been through, what you're now going through, or have yet to walk through, you will be encouraged to run the Christian race with fresh strength and purpose to hit the mark for your life. When you do things God's way, he's with you. He'll help you. Together with Jesus, you will hit the mark. You can do this.